So you've done 9 years in prison, yes?
Yes. I've been in and out of jail since I went high school, man. In and out of trouble, man.
2 bids.
2 bids, 2 full prison bids.
And what were the lengths of the bids?
I did 2 years on my first bid, and I got out. And I ain't stay out a whole year. I went right back, man. Did 7 years.
For violating probation?
Well, I violated. I had 4 new felonies, man.
So what did you go in for initially? And then what did you go in for 7 years?
Well, man, just being honest, man, I only had one problem, man, you know, selling drugs and guns, man. Every charge I got, man, for hustling or having a gun, man, I don't really beat up no girls, you know, I don't do none of that.
Okay.
I ain't breaking in nobody's house or nothing.
So the first time you went to prison, what was the actual, was it something that you took to trial and lost, or before you even went to trial you took a plea deal?
Oh, man, shit, I took the plea, man, you know what I'm saying? If I had me dead to the right, I know I did it, shit.
What were you facing if you would have taken it to trial and lost, for example?
Probably like 15 to 20.
But you took a plea deal of what?
5 years, 5 to 3.
And you ended up only doing 2 of those years?
Yeah, I only had to do 2 of them.
How?
You know, like in Mississippi, they do us a thing where we get like parole. You go up for parole, 25% of your time you get parole. So I made parole my first time.
So you get out, and now if you violate probation, what would happen then? Because you said 5 do 3. So if you violate probation, what would have happened then?
I did violate. It made me bag up the rest of my time. Like, you know, the 3 years, that's like the actual sentence, then the 2 on papers. Well, that made me bag up like a year and a half on the 2.
But now when you violate, you have 4 new felonies, so those are new charges and they add on to the time that you had to fulfill on top of that?
Well, with the new charges, I just had to I had to go to court all over again. I had to start all over on it, you know.
And did they offer you a plea deal again?
Well, yeah, they offered me a plea deal. I took the plea again, man. My lawyer wanted to fight it, but...
He did?
Yeah, my lawyer wanted to fight it, man.
What were you facing if you would have lost?
Man, I was facing 30 years, I know, on one charge, man. It's 30 on one charge.
And he felt confident enough that he could beat those charges?
I mean, that's what he said, but at the end of the day, you know, he going home whether he win or not. I'm not, so I took the plea.
And that plea was for how many years?
They plead me out for 20 years, 10 years to serve, 20 on papers. That's in one state, and then they hit me in the other state. They ran my time concurrent in Indiana. I had 2 cases, and they hit me with 14 in Indiana, so it was like 10 and 14 ran concurrent.
I see.
And I wound up doing 7 on it, so.
And how were you able to get out on 7?
Man, you know, like you got a lot of different programs up north. Like when I was in Mississippi, like, man, you just do all your time. It's like, yeah, you ever seen the movie Life? You remember Martin them?
I remember the movie coming out, but I personally did not see it.
Man.
I saw like bits and parts of it, but not the whole thing.
Man, you know, Mississippi, man, I was down there where they filmed the movie Life, Parchment. Mississippi is legendary. You know, no PC, man, like our prison a little different than other prisons. Like we thugging, you know what I'm saying? In Mississippi, we kind of handle our own business. But see, like then I went up to Indiana and it was a lot different, you know what I'm saying? They had different programs and different stuff you could take to help you get out of prison and rehabilitate yourself. So, Man, shout out to Indiana, man. They showed me a lot of love, man. Let me on up out of that junk, man. That's why I'm here with y'all today.
Now, looking back at your decision making, were those the best decisions for you to take those plea deals? Or do you, hindsight 2020, maybe on that last case where you did 7 off of the plea, you wish you would have fought it? How do you, hindsight 2020, how do you make of things?
Nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, prison wasn't bad for me. Like I'm glad I took the deal because I'm here now with y'all. Like, if I didn't take that deal, I could be still in prison. So I'm glad I took the deal, man. I went and did some push-ups, read, got smart, you know, made a little money, you know. Prison wasn't the worst thing in the world for me, you know what I'm saying? I made the best out of it.
Where were you located exactly in the first bid and the second bid? Were these state prisons or federal?
Oh, man, I did all my time state prison, man. I was in Parchment, Mississippi, right where they filmed the movie Life at. Like where y'all seen Martin Lawrence, them, that's where I was at, man.
That was the first 2-year bid.
Yeah.
And then the 7-year bid, where'd you do that at? You said up north, so I'm guessing.
Well, on the 7-year bid, man, I did 5 years back in Mississippi in Parchment again. Then my last 2 years, they moved me to Indiana, man, and Putnamville, Greene County, man. You know, everything, man, straight. All my shit was hard way, level 2, level 3 prison. I never been in a PC, never been in a satellite. Don't even know what it looked like.
Mm. Now, level 2, level 3 in a state prison, that's the highest you can go.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, some guy, that's your death row or something, you know.
Now, let's take us back to the first night you were ever in prison, okay? What was that like for you? Your first bid, what was the first night like?
Oh, man, it was just like I don't know, it was like a real reality check, man. It was like, damn, bro. Like, cause I always used to get in trouble. Like, I was always getting in trouble and stuff. But I ain't never think they really was gonna send me to prison, man. You know, I get in trouble, pay my little fine, pay my little ticket, pay my lawyer, and I'm cool. Man, dude told me he don't want no more of my money. He said he needs some of my time. I said, for real? Like, I'm still shocked about it now, man. I can't believe they actually
Who told
sent
you
me to
that?
prison.
The judge?
Yeah, that's what the judge said.
The judge said that to you?
Yeah, the judge said he done had enough of my money, man. He
wow.
said he wants some time out of me.
Do you think there was any racism with that judgment?
I mean, I'm from Mississippi, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of racism going on in Mississippi, man. But, you know, I was dead to the right, so I ain't gonna blame the judge for what I did. You know what I'm saying? I know what I did.
Now, okay, was your first night different on your second bid of 7 years, or was it the same?
Man, I really hate to tell you this, Small, man, because like on my second bid, you know, like when I had just got out, I was out like say not even a whole year, man. I got out, I was doing good, had a lot of good stuff going on. And they snatched it away from me so fast, like I didn't even know what happened, man. When I got up in there, man, I put my head up under that cover, man, and I tried my best to cry. I couldn't cry, man, but I tried hard, man. I swear I was squeezing for tears, man. I wanted to fucking cry. I couldn't believe it.
Going back to the same state prison you were in 2 years before, did you recognize some familiar faces?
Man, look, I wasn't like I wasn't out. Like I damn near got the same bed. I was back there fast, man. Like when I left, my bed was right here. When I came back, my bed was right here on the same place. Like they sent me straight back, man. That was funny, man. My guys were looking at me like, man, you stupid mother. You know, but
somebody watching this interview would look at yourself and say, you just did 2 years. Why even risk getting a new charge, breaking your probation violation, and go right back in? Why risk that? Some people go to jail, county jail, not alone prison, right? Some people go to county jail for a weekend and they never want to go back. You just did 2 years You violate probation, now you go back, end up having to go for 7 years. Why do that? Why put yourself in a predicament to go right back in a place where a lot of people never want to see again?
Well, for one, man, you know, I was raised in the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit almost like more by force than choice, for one. And for two, like when I did my first bid, it's like, man, you know, like I've been running the street, like I told you, I've been in and out of jail since I was like fucking 15, like in high school, you know what I'm saying? So once they finally locked me up, you know, I only did 2 years. I was like, damn, like I done got away with so much. This all they can do to me. So when I got out, like I thought I was Tony Montana or something. I was like, fuck it, you know, like ain't nothing they could do to me, man. You know, like I really had, I don't know, I was feeling myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, I feel like Tupac or something, you know what I'm saying? Fresh out of jail, I done got my bid in, you know, like where I'm from, man, you do a bid, man, it's like you get stripes for it, you know what I'm saying? So feel like I got my stripes, you know what I'm saying? Come back to wreak havoc. That shit crazy, but it's real.
How did you pass the time? 7 years on your second bid. How did you pass that time?
Well, man, you know what I'm saying? I enrolled in the school of hard knocks, bro. You know what I'm saying? While I was in prison for those 7 years, man, I worked out every day. I read every day, you know, every day I was reading. Like I really didn't have enough time in the day. Like you'll be surprised, like how can he say that in jail? Like I was more busy than guys on the streets because I still was hustling. I still had girls, I had phone, you know, I had everything in prison except a car, man. I do what I want to do in prison, you know what I'm saying? That's how I pass the time.
Did you rap inside?
Man, I ain't do no rapping in prison, man, because you can't get paid for rap in prison.
But you could practice.
I don't need no practice, man.
You could get prepared for when you do get out.
I don't really need no practice. Like, I feel like, man, this rap thing for me is a real blessing, man. My voice is a blessing. And you know, like, I really get better at rapping by living because I speak facts about my life. So the more I live, the more I do, I get better at rapping by doing it, like real life.
I've also heard some of the more talented people, the more talented prisoners would get paid maybe not by money, but by, you know, stuff from commissary from other prisoners or, you know, that sort of thing. People that wanted to hear other people rap or people that battled other people and won.
Well, you know, like with me, man, like prison wasn't about no rap. Like it was about getting money because I still have to take care of my family and do stuff for my family and my people. So like in prison, I was more like trying to hustle, like selling cigarettes, selling food, selling other things, you know, doing what I gotta do, man, to survive, you know, more than a rap shit. I don't care about no rap in prison. You can't get paid for it. It don't make sense. I might have wrote 2 raps.
7 years, 2 raps.
I might have wrote 2 raps, man. Might have. You know, I wasn't doing a lot of rapping. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you, man, like it was a lot of guys in prison rapping that came out and didn't do nothing with it, man. And I wasn't in prison rapping, and I got straight out. I did a song with Moneybag Yo. Couple other artists, man, really doing their thing right now. I got straight out and went to rapping, man. But I knew I was gonna rap when I got out. But I just wasn't wasting my time doing it in prison, man, because rap game change every day.
Somebody watching this, let's say they're headed to prison for their first time. What are some do's and don'ts inside prison? What would you tell somebody? What's the advice there?
Don't drop the soap. Nah, for real, man, you know, man, you go to prison, man, just mind your own business, man. Like, don't be in for business. You see stuff going on, just act like you didn't see it, man. That's the number 1 rule. Don't borrow nobody's stuff, man, because like when you borrow somebody's stuff, man, people demand their stuff back, like, you know, like that's an automatic altercation, man. Like you can't borrow nobody's stuff and have no excuse to why you don't have it back, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to slap a guy for 2 noodles before, so I'm just saying, man, like it really gets serious like that, you know?
What about gangs? Can one survive being in a gang in prison?
I mean, you can. It just depends on you. You know what I'm saying? Because within the gang, like people use gangs for protection, but sometimes gangs extort their own brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like guys be extorting their own people. So, like, you can't just try to get in the gang just to protect you. You know what I'm saying? Cause a gang not gonna protect you. They gonna eat off you. If you're not really one of them, they gonna take everything you got. You know what I'm saying? And they should. You know.
You talked about slapping somebody for noodles. When you say slap, did you literally slap and that was the end of it, or did it turn into an altercation, a fight?
Man, I slapped the shit out of dude, but he ain't really bust no move, you know what I'm saying? He offered me a couple noodles, you know, but he wasn't ready to bust no move about this, you know. I just feel like I need what's mine. If I can't get mine, then you know what I'm saying? You know, it gotta be something done behind it. It gotta be some kind of consequence. So I just slapped the shit out of him. He ain't busting no move though. He ain't really want that smoke, you dig? He ain't want that smoke.
So when the slap incident is done, does he still have to get you those noodles, or
Hell nah, they don't pay for the noodles. I need my noodles. I need my noodles, man, shit.
So you slap him, and then he still owes you those noodles?
Hell yeah, like he gotta have them ASAP, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't no big bad wolf or nothing, but like about my little shit, man, like 2 noodles a whole lot of money in there, you know what I'm saying? 2 noodles, 2 days of eat, so like, if I ain't got my noodles, you know what I'm saying, then you the business, you know what I'm saying? Simple with it.
Did he get you those noodles ASAP?
Hell yeah, man, he got them. Yeah, he went and borrowed them for somebody else.
Now, did you have to fight in prison?
Man, a couple times, wasn't a whole lot, man. Like I really get respect everywhere I go. And that's the honest truth. Like, I ain't gonna tell you I was out here stabbing and killing everybody in prison. I wasn't doing all that, man. I was respected in prison, man. I didn't have no whole lot of altercation. You know, I had to slap the guy about them noodles, and, you know, I had a couple little other incidents, but not no whole lot. You know, not no, niggas know what time it is.
Defending yourself, or were you the aggressor in these fights?
Man, I had to defend myself once, but most of the time, to be honest, I was the aggressor, man, and I only really get in trouble. Like, I only put my hand on the person if they disrespect me in some type of way, or if they don't pay me my money, you know what I'm saying? You know, I made like $20,000 in like 4 months in prison. So, you know, like, to me, like, had to be really serious about my money to do that. You see what I'm saying? So I can't let you owe me 2 noodles. Gotta slap you, you did.
Were you ever afraid about catching an additional charge or maxing out your sentence because of fighting, or fighting charges that can stem from fighting?
I mean, like, man, I was doing things that, like, fighting ain't even that serious enough. Like, we can get to fighting and you go lay on your bed, I go lay on my bed, and that's a done deal. In Mississippi, they don't care, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, a fight is a fight, you know. That ain't nothing. People in jail fight, you know. That ain't nothing.
Looking back at your fights, could they have been avoided or diffused, or were they unavoidable? The fights had to go down.
Yeah, man, I don't put my hands on nobody unless I have to, man. So, you know, ain't no getting around it, man. Disrespect will not be tolerated. You did. Not in prison. Ain't no guns. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to put it like this, man. If you want to survive in prison, if somebody owe you and they don't pay you, then how you going to make money? Because if they don't pay you, ain't nobody going to pay you. So you got to be able to make sure people respect you in order to get your money, you did. So I had to put the respect game down, you know.
What about solitary confinement?
I love it.
Wait, you love it?
Yeah, man.
Why?
You know, like, sometimes, like, I have to go get a peace of mind, man. So I go in solitary, you know, do some push-ups, jack off, read the Bible, go to sleep, do it all over again. You know, a couple times, you know, shit like that, man. That's the type of shit I be on.
Out of your 2 years, your 7-year bids, 9 years altogether, how much time do you think you spent in that hole? If you could add it all up. Out of 9 years, what would you say?
Man, I probably did about 3 or 4 years in the hole, man, cause you know, I had came up, you know, in Mississippi they give you drug tests. So I was in there smoking weed, I came up hot, you know how that goes. And then like in Mississippi, they punish you for coming up hot. So my punishment for coming up hot was they sent me to a behavior modification program and had me to pick peas out the field, like Martin on Life. But I wasn't going for this shit. So that's why I stayed in the hole so long, you know what I'm saying? I was in the hole a long time because I wasn't go pick no peas, man.
What's that like in there? I've heard some people can go crazy in there. And I've heard people can do all right in there.
I mean, it all depends on your mind, man. If you weak-minded, you know what I'm saying? You might ain't for you, man. But like me, I really like the hole because I don't like being around people every day, all the time.
You'd rather be in the hole than general population?
Yeah, I'd rather be by myself sometime, man. Sometimes I need a peace of mind, man. I can't think.
Does time go slower or stay the same in the hole versus being in general population?
Definitely slower. It's slower in the hole. I can't lie about that. It's slow.
I probably know your answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Was it worth it? Was whatever you did to get in the hole worth doing or no?
Man, sometimes I used to ask them to take me to the hole. You know, so I guess, you know, however you want to feel about that one. I like the hole.
Craziest thing you've seen while you were locked up?
Homosexual activity. That's the craziest shit I seen, man. That shit there throw me for a loop, man, you know.
Do people get raped in prison?
Sometimes, man, you know, you get raped, man, you probably wanted it, man. You know, ain't no lot of raping going on. There's punks in there getting it up, man. You know how this shit goes, so yes and no, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Have you ever seen that show on TV called Lockup on MSNBC?
Hey, man, believe it or not, man, we used to watch this shit in prison. They watch it in prison, man. I swear to God, like I be like, why is y'all watching it? They watch prison shows. We like to see who in prison. We might see a guy that we knew from somewhere else. Like, man, they don't play about this show, man. We watch Locked Up every night.
Isn't that strange to be watching other people in prison while you're locked up in prison?
Man, I thought it was the dumbest shit ever, man. But, you know, them guys, like, they really believe in this shit. So, me, I just like Jerry Springer, you know, more and shit.
Now, on the show, they show different types of prisons, state, federal, county stuff. They show an arrangement from East Coast to West Coast. But from what you've seen on that show, is that an accurate depiction of prison life?
Some of it is. You know, like me, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really do a lot of watching TV, but I know them guys used to watch it all the time. I walk up there and be like, man, what the fuck is y'all in jail watching other people in jail? But you know, the shit I seen, man, some of it real and some of it a little extra, you know.
What was a little extra?
Man, like some of them guys, like, you know what I'm saying, they be putting on for the camera. Like that, you know. They be making it like they doing more than they doing, you know, some of them.
In your 7-year bid especially, what kept you motivated?
Shit, just the fact that knowing I was gonna get out. I know I'm gonna get out. Okay, I know I'm getting out, so I'm working out every day. I'm reading every day. I know when I get out, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rap, and I also know that I'm gonna make it. So that's what kept me going, man. I said, when I get out, I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna kill them. I should have been did it. My aunt died when I was in prison. My auntie, man, shout out to my auntie Dale, man. I always keep her right here, man, my angel. Yeah, man, her husband killed her. He was like my father. My auntie was like my mama. So her husband killed her and killed himself. So right then I promised myself that I was gonna I was gonna take my rap career more serious, man, for my auntie.
How'd you hear about it? And how soon after it had happened did you hear about it?
Man, I heard about it. I heard about it on the jail phone, man. And I heard about it. It happened like the 13th. And I heard about it, I think it was like 2 days, 3 days later, man.
Shocked?
I dropped the phone, I fell, man. That's the only time I ever cried in prison, period. That's all, I don't even remember crying except that.
I mean, now any death is shocking. And I mean this respectfully when I ask it to you, but sometimes when people are in a certain path and death comes, it's not a shock because, so for example, if somebody was in the streets and did street stuff and they got killed in the streets, it's shocking that they died, but dying in the streets is not shocking because that was the path that they were on and that could come with that. Were you shocked that this happened? Was there ever domestic violence between these two? Was there ever fights that were just so bad? Like,
man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It been fights and stuff here and there, but them people been together since I was like a baby, like 30 years. Like my auntie was like a mom to me, and my uncle, he raised me, like he taught me a lot of shit, man, like a father to me. So like, hell yeah, it was a shock. I thought, like nothing in the world could have prepared me for that. Nothing. I done seen them fight and shit, but I never guess it'll go that far, man. That shit hurt me, man. That shit hurt me.
What was visitation like for you? I know sometimes I do interviews with people that have been to prison, and there's people that really love visitation. They got to see somebody all the time. Then there's some people, hey man, I don't want to see nobody. I just want to do my time, and you'll see me when I get out type of people. Which one were you?
Well, like me, I didn't really have to see nobody, but man, I ain't gonna lie, I was blessed, man. I had my old lady, man, my girlfriend, she came see me every week, like nonstop. We had conjugal visits, like, I pay the guard and get some on the side, you know what I'm saying? So she coming every week. So, you know what I'm saying? My mom coming to see me. So, like, I ain't gonna sit here and lie like I ain't had no support or nothing like that. But at the same time, I built my support system because I make sure them folks have a nice car and gas to get to see me and everything they need, you know what I'm saying?
Is that the person that saw you the most? Was your gal?
It was my mom and my girl. Your gal? I liked it. It was my mom and my gal, you know what I'm saying? Both of them, they kind of like they took turns coming to see me.
Who saw you
every
more?
Week.
Who saw you more?
She probably my gal though, cause she gonna come, like she'll come regardless, mama, she still might come. They might be arguing cause she do.
Now, how far were they away from you? I know you were in a state prison, but how far did they live from you?
Oh man, they bounced me around the whole time I was in prison.
So what was the longest they were away from you?
Man, my girl done drove 4 hours to see me.
Okay.
4 hours straight.
Now, in your 7-year prison bid, El Chapo escaped prison twice. Did you ever have thoughts on breaking out?
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to El Chapo, man. I wish I could have got out there, motherfucker.
How close were you to actually really taking it serious, or was it just like a fantasy?
I wasn't finna break out here. I ain't got but 7 years. I ain't no long time. Man. I'll be back out before y'all know it,